A number is part of a legacy. Some NBA jerseys are so iconic that they are recognized globally. The player and his number, sometimes multiple of them. This is the case for legendary players like LeBron and Kobe. This list will feature the best player to wear every jersey number, but first here are a few rules. The first being a player can have multiple jersey numbers, so players like LeBron and Kobe can be on the list multiple times. The second is that a player's entire career will be included. So with LeBron, for example, I will not just count his career when wearing the number 6, but his entire career, including number 23, when considering who is deserving of the number 6 spot. The final rule is that a player must have played at least 2 seasons with that jersey number. So no, Shaq's number 36 with the Celtics will not be included. Number 0 has no shortage of competition, whether it's Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, or Gilbert Arenas. All 3 of these players are great, but ultimately for me it comes down to Westbrook and Lillard. Neither have won a championship, but Westbrook has won an MVP. And I think the best player to wear number 0 is Westbrook. Number 1 is also a tough choice, with 2 more recent players initially being the favorites to take this spot. Derrick Rose has an MVP, but unfortunately also had a lot of injuries, which prevented him from taking this spot. The same thing with Tracy McGrady. He could have taken this spot too, but injuries also hurt his argument. It was very difficult to choose between them, and ultimately I ended up choosing Oscar Robertson. The NBA champion and MVP is a legend of the game, and who I feel is the best player to ever wear number 1, even if not for very long. Number 2 was originally going to be Kawhi Leonard. Then after more thought, I decided Moses Malone deserved it. I know it might be controversial, how can it not, considering Kawhi's won 2 championships and been a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, one of the greatest players of all time. However, Moses Malone has won a championship and 3 MVPs during his time in Philly, so I cannot justify leaving him off the list with those accomplishments. Shout out to Kyrie Irving as well, so many great players who use this number. Number 3 had some very great players wear it, but one has earned this title more. Dwayne Wade is a 3-time champion and Miami Heat legend, and a consistent winner for nearly 2 decades. Although Iverson has his MVP and Chris Paul has his 12 All-Star appearances, I think Wade is simply the better player and the best to wear number 3. While some more recent players like Chris Bosh and Victor Oladipo may come to mind for number 4, ultimately I decided to go with a member of the legendary Pistons teams of the 90s, Joe Dumars, a 2-time champion and 1989 Finals MVP. Kevin Garnett was dominant during his time in Minnesota, and a MVP with the Timberwolves. Then moved east to win a championship with the Celtics. He also won a Defensive Player of the Year with Boston. The greatest number 5 of all time, only faced serious competition for the spot from Jason Kidd. Number 6 will no doubt be controversial as well, because I am considering the entire career of each player. LeBron has earned the titles of the greatest player to wear number 6. However, Bill Russell's career is also incredible. Neither player really needs any introduction. Both are among the greatest players of all time. A 4-time champion and a 4-time MVP, LeBron might even be the greatest. Durant may be more remembered for his time wearing number 35, with both the Thunder and the Warriors, but he also used number 7, and did so for more than 1 season with the Nets. The 2-time champion with the Warriors and the 2014 MVP, is one of the greatest of all time. But Carmelo Anthony and Pete Maravich also deserve to be recognized. Number 8 is the easiest one so far. Kobe Bryant used both 8 and 24, and he made both iconic. The 5-time champion and 2008 MVP is easily one of the greatest players of all time, and easily the greatest player to wear number 8. Tony Parker was an important piece of the Spurs dynasty, winning 4 championships with San Antonio, including a Finals MVP in 2007. He may have been the greatest player to wear number 9, if not for another all-time great, who played much earlier, Bob Pettit, the first player to ever win the MVP award in 1956, and then won it again in 1959. He was also a champion in 1958. He was also, in my opinion, the greatest player to ever wear number 9. A 2-time champion and 7-time All-Star, Walt Frazier is one of the greatest New York Knicks of all time, and the greatest player to wear number 10. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan as well. Not quite to the level of Frazier, but still deserves a shout out. Isaiah Thomas is another member of the legendary 90s Piston teams. Thomas was a two-time champion along with the 1990 Finals MVP. He's also, in my opinion, the greatest player to ever wear number 11. Honorable mention to Klay Thompson as well, though, a member of the Warriors dynasty who continues to add to his legacy. Number 12 belongs to the player with the most assists in NBA history, John Stockton. A 10-time All-Star, Stockton is a pretty easy choice for the best player to ever wear number 12. Dwight Howard does deserve a shout out as well. Number 13 has some serious competition, especially with more recent players like Steve Nash, James Harden, and Paul George. However, it is very hard to accomplish more than Wilt Chamberlain. Chamberlain is one of the all-time greats, a 4-time MVP and 2-time champion. It is hard to imagine anyone else being a better player wearing the number 13. Not to mention the fact he scored 100 points in one game. Oscar Robertson becomes the first player to appear twice on this list, as he used number 14 for the majority of his career. Honorable mention for Celtics legend Bob Cousy as well, a 6-time champion and MVP in 1957. Number 15 has a lot of talent, including Vince Carter, Carmelo Anthony, and DeMarcus Cousins. Originally, Vince Carter was going to be here for number 15, then after further consideration, I decided that Nikola Jokic had earned the spot. I know it might be controversial, especially considering Jokic is still playing, but I think 3 MVPs and a championship is enough to earn a spot on this list, and be the greatest player to wear number 15 already. Number 16 is much less competitive, with Pau Gasol taking this number pretty easily. The longtime Grizzly and Lakers, the greatest player to wear number 16. John Havlicek also takes his number fairly easily. The Celtics legend won 8 championships and a Finals MVP in 1974 with the league's most successful franchise, and he's the most successful player to wear number 17. Another Boston legend, Dave Cowens, takes his number pretty easily as well. Number 18 isn't super common in the game of basketball, so the 2-time champion and 1973 MVP is the greatest player to wear number 18. Number 19 belongs to Willis Reed, a Knicks legend similar to Walt Frazier. He won 2 championships in New York and 2 Finals MVPs as well. Certainly good enough to earn the title as the greatest player to wear number 19. Gary Payton and Manu Ginobili are both legends of the game who have used the number 20. Although Ginobili, similar to Parker, was an important member of the Spurs dynasty, Gary Payton has earned this title. The NBA champion and NBA Defensive Player of the Year, best known for his time in Seattle, will forever be a franchise legend. Number 21 is also an easy choice for now. Joel Embiid is still playing and can continue to add to his accomplishments, which already include an MVP, but right now Tim Duncan is the best player to ever wear number 21. Duncan is a 5-time champion and 3 times Finals MVP. He also won 2 MVPs during his time in San Antonio. He's also the best player to wear number 21. Number 22 is a much closer decision. The 2 candidates in this case are Elgin Baylor and Clyde Drexler. Baylor is slightly ahead here, a Lakers legend and 11-time All-Star. Naturally, because the 2 greatest basketball players of all time have both used the number 23, I'm going to be expected to say who I think is the greatest of all time. However, I don't think there is a clear answer here. Both have done more than enough to earn this spot. I was originally going to give number 23 to Jordan, just because LeBron already has number 6, but instead I'm giving number 23 to both of them. Kobe makes his second appearance on the list, easy choice. Mark Price, a Cleveland Cavaliers legend and 4-time All-Star, didn't have much competition for this spot. This makes Price the greatest to ever wear number 25. Number 26 is much less contested, with Kyle Korver easily taking this number. Korver's accomplishments may not be like those of some other names on this list, but Korver was an All-Star in 2015. Number 27 was originally going to be Jack Twyman, who was very deserving of this spot. But then after further consideration, I decided Rudy Gobert had earned the title as the greatest to wear number 27. The 3-time All-Star and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year continues to add to his accomplishments with the Timberwolves. Honorable mention for Jamal Murray as well. Number 30 obviously goes to Steph Curry. The 2-time MVP and 4-time champion is also the 2022 Finals MVP. Curry is also the greatest player to ever wear number 30. Reggie Miller takes number 31. The 5-time All-Star and Pacers legend takes this one pretty easily. Number 32 has a lot more competition than some of the previous ones. Karl Malone and Blake Griffin certainly have strong arguments, but ultimately the title of the greatest to ever wear the number 32 belongs to one of the old-time greats, Magic Johnson. A 3-time MVP and 3-time champion, Johnson has done more than enough to earn the spot. Number 33 is one of the toughest on this list to decide. There are 4 main contenders here, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, and Scottie Pippen. It is very impressive that 4 legends of the game have used the number 33, but at the end of the day, one has earned the title more than the others. The 6-time champion, 6-time MVP, and former all-time leading scorer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player to wear number 33 and one of the greatest to play the game of basketball. Number 34 is only a little bit easier to decide, with Shaquille O'Neal being the greatest player to ever wear the number 34. A 4-time champion and MVP in 2000, it would be very difficult for anyone to take this title from him. However, an argument can certainly be made for Hakeem Olajuwon, and Giannis continues to add to his accomplishments as well, which already include 2 MVPs and a championship. Number 35 goes to Kevin Durant, who makes his second appearance on this list. A pretty easy decision here. Number 40, Shawn Kemp. Number 41, Dirk Nowitzki. Number 44, Jerry West. Number 50, David Robinson. Number 54, Horace Grant. Number 55, Dikembe Mutombo. Number 77, Luka Doncic. Number 91, Dennis Rodman. And with that, you have the best player from every jersey number. So what do you think? Which numbers do you agree with? Which ones do you disagree with? Did I miss anyone? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.